Hello, and on today's video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know about the Nice tram system. I'm going to include some tips and tricks on how to make it cost a lot less if you're coming to the city by air. So if you are visiting the beautiful city of Nice, you need to watch this video. Nice, capital of the French Riviera, home to beautiful laid-back life, outdoor dining and soccer. If you've never been to Nice before, you're probably wondering, how am I going to get around the town without blowing all my gelato money on taxis? The answer is simple and super slick: the new Nice tramway. Seriously, this tram system is a game changer for tourists. It's clean, it's efficient, and it goes to everywhere you want it to. And it's really good on your wallet too. So grab your shades and your sense of adventure, because I'm about to give you the lowdown on navigating Nice like a local. So if, like me, you arrived by air, I'm going to give you the first massive money saver. Don't buy your tram ticket at the airport ticket machines. You can only buy a €10 airport ticket here. This ticket gives you one trip to and from the airport. However, if you use the Ligne d'Azur app on your phone, you can buy single tickets here that will only cost you €1.70 for each journey. Therefore, instead of €10 to and from the airport, it's just €3.40. The trams are located on the ground floor outside the arrivals hall, just near the Isle of Nice sign. Make sure you get a photo. Okay, so let's talk routes. There are three main tram lines, and you're likely going to be using line 1 and 2, less so line 3 for touristy stuff. Line 1 you can think of as the backbone for exploring the central parts of the city. It runs from Henri Sapieha in the north to the Hôpital in the east. Key stops on line 1 are Gare Thiers, which is right outside the main station, Gare de Niceville. Jean Médecin, that's the stop for the main shopping avenue and the impressive Notre Dame Basilica. Place Messina, which is the iconic square with the really funky statues, and it's the gateway to the Promenade Park, you can't miss it. Braville and Cathedral-Ville, that's where you'll get off for the really charming old town. You can wander around the beautiful narrow streets that Nice is famous for, grab some soca and soak up all the historic vibes there. And then the last stop you'll probably want is Garibaldi, which is basically another one that's really good for accessing the old town, plus it's near to Place Garibaldi obviously, and the Modern Art Museum. Moving on to line 2, this is the east-west coastal route. This is your best friend if you're flying in or out of the airport. It conveniently connects both Terminal 1 and 2 directly to the city centre and all the way to Port Lampiat, which is the port. So the stops you're probably going to want on here are obviously the airport, self-explanatory. It's the easiest and cheapest way to get to and from your flight. You can stop off at the Promenade d'Anglaise, so that's the Ferber, Cara and Magnan stops. At Jean Médecin and Garibaldi, you can interchange with line 1. However, the interchanges aren't sort of in the same station. They are a little bit of a walk, so just be aware of that. And actually, it goes underground through the city centre, which is pretty cool. And then Port Lampiat is the end of the line, right at the beautiful port. It's beautiful down there, perfect for a stroll, a boat tour, admiring the yachts, or a quick bite to eat. So let's talk tickets then. Buying tickets is really straightforward, and the way that I would do this is using the Ligne d'Azur app. It's so straightforward, and if you've got an Android phone, you can just tap it and NFC will validate your ticket there and then. No need to buy any paper tickets, no cards or anything like that. So let's have a quick look at the app then. Okay, so once you're on the app, you're going to have a couple of options. The first one is you can buy and validate with your phone. You could top up a card if you have one, or down the bottom you've got My Tickets. So if you go into My Tickets, you'll be able to see any tickets that you currently have active on your phone. You can see the details of your ticket and when you bought it. And then what you can do is when you tap in, it will validate it on your phone and you can see any active tickets currently in use. If we go into purchase, buy and validate with this phone, We can see in here you've got a number of different options. You can buy single tickets, so 1 through to 100, or you can buy a 1-day pass, a 2-day pass, a 7-day pass, a monthly or an annual. So obviously from a tourist perspective, you're probably going to be looking at the 1, 2 or 7-day passes, or if you're not going to be using the tram that often, you can just get away with buying a couple of tickets per day. The tram also runs really long hours, starts around 4 to 5 a.m, finishes around 1 a.m. the next day. So to sum things up then, why is the tram so useful? So it goes everywhere. As you've seen, it connects the airport, the train station, old town beaches, shopping areas and the museums. It's super convenient. It's really affordable. Compared to taxis or even some other city transport systems, it's really budget friendly, especially with the week or day passes. It's frequent, you rarely have to wait long for a tram, it comes every few minutes on the main lines. It's scenic, apart from some parts where it's underground, you do get some really lovely views along the Promenade d'Anglais and through the bustling streets if you're going down line 1. The trams are modern and accessible with low floors, easy boarding. So yeah, they're just really useful trams. Cool little fact for you is Nice actually had a tram system way back in the day, from 1879 to 1953. This tram system, however, started in 2007 with line 1. Another fun fact for you is that running through some of the more picturesque squares like Place Messina and Place Garibaldi, the tram runs on battery power, so that there was no need to install overhead wires spoiling your photos. Pretty neat, huh? Hopefully you found this video useful, and if you have, I'd love it if you drop a comment down below. And let's just admire some shots of trams for a little bit. But my absolute favourite thing of the Nice tram system? How each stop has its own theme tune and jingle. Listen, they're so cute.
Welcome to the tramway line number 2.
The obligatory YouTube stuff of liking and subscribing if you could, that would mean the world. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video.
Ligne 2, direction aéroport, terminal 2.